Hey, Josh, congratulations on the honor. It's just another note in the huge step you've taken forward this year. Obviously, we see it and don't have nearly as critical an eye as you do. Can you sense that you are a different quarterback this year than the first 2 years in the league?
I mean, I'd say yes. A lot of it has to do with being in the same system for 3 years, understanding the concepts that we're running, utilizing the help that we've brought into our quarterback room, and just trying to understand defense a little better and knowing our answers when we were out there. And again, that wasn't just me, and it wasn't just by chance. It was a lot of hard work, and obviously there's still a lot to improve on, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But I've had a lot of help along the way, and I truly appreciate the guys that have come across my path and helped me in regards to my game.
Is it where would you put? You mentioned the familiarity and consistency with the system. Where would you put a growth in your mechanics as a reason for this growth in your production?
Well, I mean, I think that's a big part of it. Just understanding my throwing motion allows me to, deliver the ball more consistently than the last couple of years. And coach has a lot of confidence when you're able to complete passes on a regular basis. And still a lot of things to clean up though, as far as ball placement and decision making goes. But that can be fixed. And I'm still learning as we're going along. In each game, I feel like it's a different situation that arises, and I'm able to learn and grow from it.
Appreciate it, Josh. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh, Dan Fates up in Rochester. Kind of an open-ended question, but what's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself in 2020 as a player?
I'd say just knowing, like I said, knowing my mechanics, knowing why I missed a throw and what I can do to fix that. When I'm not throwing the ball how I want to, I'm able to kind of find that rhythm back by, just thinking about a couple things in my mind and allowing myself to, again, deliver, consistency in my mechanics.
Thanks.
Can't hear you, Vic. Nope.
All right, Vic, we'll come back to you. I'm going to go to Perino.
Hey, Josh. Congratulations on the award. Sean and Brian talked a bit about Ken Dorsey, and I think that you brought him up in your conversation with Steve Young before the game. I'm curious, what particular things over the course of this little over a year now would you say that, impact that he's had on you and things where he's helped you in areas of your game?
You talking about Dorsey?
And Dorsey, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just, the familiarity that he has with playing the game, being behind the center, obviously, I think that plays a big part in what he's able to talk about, what he's able to feel, what he's able to see. You trust it, you believe him because he's been back there and he's done it. That he's got the mind and the eye of a quarterback. He worked extremely hard, whether it be the PowerPoints that he puts together, the clips that he puts together, whatever it is. He's talking about the right stuff. He's showing the right stuff. I trust him implicitly, and he's been a huge help and a huge help to our success on offense. Seeing things in a different view and showing that to Dabo, and Dabo's been awesome in allowing him to talk about certain things and concepts that he sees, and it's a really, really good relationship that I think that I have with him and with Dabes, and it's just a good kind of revolving door type of communication.
Thanks, Josh. Congrats again.
Thank you.
Josh, Worrell here.
How you doing?
Good. I guess there's been a bit of a theme of some philosophical questions being asked you, and I'm going to throw one out. I had one for you as well. We're all competitors, be it your business or my business. We're all driven in part by fear, which can be a valuable motivator. You've reached the level of consistency for the most part this season, like you're in a groove. So when it comes to completions and all this other and how you're playing, what's might be the one thing you fear might cause you to slip?
I mean, really the only thing when I'm on the field, I fear letting my teammates down. And that's, as a quarterback of the team, your job is to move the ball and score score points. So when we're not scoring points, that's my biggest fear, and that's putting our defense in a bind if we're not moving, the chains on third down. Again, that puts us behind the 8 ball, and we got to punt the ball away. And that's what drives me. That's what motivates me. I fear letting the guys who drafted me, this front office and this organization, down by trading up to come get me. And that's basically that's the biggest fears that I have. And that's, I guess, why in my mind that I work extremely hard.
That's a lot of weight to be carrying, but that's the weight that a quarterback carries in the NFL. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. I mean, it's everything that I've wanted since I was a little kid. And obviously there's pros and cons to every type of situation that you're in. And I'll take the pros 1,000 times over the cons that come with this job. And it's the greatest job in the world, in my opinion. And I enjoy each and every day that I get to come and be the quarterback for this organization.
Well, congrats. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
Oh, Vic, it's still not working. Okay.
You just want to type your question, Vic?
We'll go to Beauvais.
Mine working? We good?
Yep, I got you.
All right, cool. Hey, all this talk, congratulations first and foremost, but everybody asks you about Stephon Diggs, and I totally get it. But I feel like we don't talk about Cole Beasley enough. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just not seeing it as much. Marcel talks about him a lot, though. I'll give him credit there. But what about Cole Beasley has made, your life easier and has made this offense be able to take the next step, particularly this season?
Well, I mean, one, the things that he does on the field, he is probably the quickest guy on the field at all times. Just the way that he gets in and out of his cuts, how he can control his body. It's very unbelievable. And I've noticed that since day one. And that's kind of the tricky part about throwing to him early on is if you don't have a feel for him and you don't talk about it enough, he can fake you out. So one, I think it's that. Two, it's the communication. It's the watching the film. It's the going over it in practice and just running it over and over again and getting a feel for what his body can do. That's number two. And number three is just the type of relationship and the type of guy that he is and the relationship that we have. He's great in the locker room. I mean, I don't think you can find one guy to say anything bad about him. I mean, he's just a joy to be around. He's always got a smile on his face. He's always trying to uplift, and he's just the ultimate teammate. And I love playing with him. And he's made my job a lot easier by kind of seeing it through a quarterback's eyes when he's running routes. And the thing about him, he always wants the ball in his hands, and he's a gamer. He's a baller. And I can go on for forever really talking about how much he means to this offense and how much he means to me.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, Josh, you can hear me all right?
Yep, I got you.
All right. Thank you to Beauvais for recognizing the Cole Beasley gavel. I've been trying to swing that for a while now. But you specifically, against zone coverage last game, it was the best game of your career. I mean, in terms of yards, completion percentage. And it seems like it's a long way from that week 5 and week 6 lull that you guys had offensively. So I'm wondering, how big of a focal point has it been for you in this offense, I guess, getting accustomed to succeeding against zone coverage?
I mean, ultimately, I feel like it is up to me in when we have these types of games and guys want to play zone. I trust that our guys are getting to the windows and the spots, and I got to be on time and on target with where I put the ball. I don't really think there's many teams out there that can guard all of our guys. And when we're in zone, again, like Beauvais was talking about, what Cole is able to do and find windows and kind of get in the spots that the defense isn't, and that's been extremely helpful. But it's just the accumulation of our guys going out there and trying to execute their given task every given play. So it's a total 11-man effort when we're out there in zone.
And then as an 11-man offense, I mean, when you can move the ball like that against any type of defense that an opponent's throwing at you, do you think it's sending opposing coaches kind of back to the drawing board as we approach the end of the season in the playoffs?
I mean, again, I think each and every week's a different opportunity, a different situation. And some teams match up better in man, some teams match up better in zone. As an offense, it's our job to find out what we can do, how we can beat them, and how we can hurt them and their given defense. But yeah, I mean, it's ultimately really the offense's job to kind of dissect what they're doing and trying to get us in the right play calls and as a quarterback, get us out of the bad ones and limit those bad plays.
Gotcha. Appreciate your time, man.
Yep. Thank you.
Hey, Josh, Dante Laston, can you hear me?
Yep. I got you.
In seeing the transformation of this passing attack this season, how does it feel to know that Coach Dabo put his complete faith in you to change the course of this offense to what we're seeing now?
I mean, it felt good. And I think, it's my job as the quarterback to move the ball and help this team score points and try to put us in a position to win football games. But I mean, just the trust that I have in him and he has in me, the communication that we share, the type of relationship that we have, I think that all kind of goes into it. And, I obviously love what he's calling and he's doing a really good job. And as long as we're going out there and executing the way we can, we're a pretty dang good football team when we're executing how we can. And when he's got that trust to go out there and put it, in my hands, like I said, that's going back to one of the earlier questions. I fear letting my teammates down, letting him down. So, it feels good, going out there and executing.
Definitely. Thank you. Congrats on the award and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh, congratulations on your award, man.
Thank you.
So when you guys played the Steelers last year, Ben did not play. Obviously, he is playing in this one. So your first chance to match up. I know you're not going against him per se, but your first chance to match up with Ben Roethlisberger on the same field. He's been doing this since you were probably 8 years old or so. And you've often been compared to Ben, by a lot of people with your how big you are, your style, things like that. Kind of just give us your thoughts on watching Ben throughout his career and his game.
I mean, obviously what he's been able to do in his career, winning a couple Super Bowls, just the consistency that he's been able to do it on too. And again, I know he missed a few games last year, but the way that he plays, the style of the game that he plays, he's very hard to bring down. Obviously, he's got tremendous arm talent, and he's been doing it for a long time. And he's had, a lot of success. And, I'd argue to say he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So, obviously, I'm very humbled to be even named in the same conversation as him and be compared to kind of what he was when he was, younger. But he's still playing at the top of his game right now, and he's got things rolling. They're 11-1. The defense that they got, obviously, the pass rush, the two guys, TJ Watt and Cam Hayward, and obviously they lost Dupree, which is a really good player too. And it's you never like to see anybody go down, and he was a very tough competitor that we played last year. And in the back end, they got some smart guys, and Minka's able to fly around. I don't know kind of injury telling, but they're a really good defense. And they're fun to watch. Obviously, when we're not playing, I like watching them because it looks like they just have a great time, playing the game. They have a great time playing for their coach over there. Everything I've heard about Coach Tomlin has been nothing but, super and fantastic. And I got a lot of respect for him and who he is as a person and as a coach. So, I got a lot of respect for the organization over there in Pittsburgh.
Thanks, Josh.